Hello, welcome everyone to Neon Devils Part 2. I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be so much fun. Um, we're going to jump into all the action and I'll let uh, Yaz explain the world and where we are and all that in just a second. But before we do, I want to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and their characters. And then just before we do that, I'm just going to say a quick word about our sponsors, which I'm going to throw here into chat, which are Fundamental RPG, which looks like this. And I don't know why the bot's not working. Oh, the bot's down. Okay. Well, links will be in chat in a bit. But Fundamental RPG, which looks like this, and you can pick this up on Amazon. Just look for Fundamental RPG or Raven Evermore. It's a really cool D20 system that you can run virtually any genre of game on. And then Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. Lots of really cool stuff there, like these awesome coffee mugs. But all of it's got a tabletop or adventure theme. You can find that at coffee.com/raven/shop. Just like it says at the bottom of the screen, just add /shop to the end of it. You can also get the PDF version of Fundamental there, and free character sheets. And then last but not least, Die Hard Dice. They're really good dice. Highly recommend them. Cannot recommend them enough. They sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set this month, which I highly recommend. And then if you use the code BlackFeatherMay, so all one word, capital B, capital M, you can get 10% off your order with them. All the sponsor stuff out of the way, we'll start at the top left with Anina. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Anita Kasky. I'm a actor and writer. I've got a YouTube channel filled with sketches, comedy monologues, and also a dark drama Scandinois web series pilot. So go check that out. I'll put that in the old chat box, and I'm playing Turi, which she is a creature from Finnish folklore, which apparently hobbits were based on. So she's a menken. She's a little fair and incredibly lucky. The nickname is Lucky Number 7. There we go. Find out more soon.
I love that. Next we got Paladin. Tell us a little bit about Balder and yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. And today I'm playing Balder. I'm a wee little stone man. I'm living in my own home for years and years. As long as I've been alive, I'm not allowed to leave my house as much. And before you think that that's cruel from my old dad, it's got a good reason. But lately, my dad's been injured, so I've kind of got to leave the house now to make money. And thankfully, I've got a friend who told me about an opportunity to make some money quick. I've also got a magic axe, and I'm fairly handy with fixing things and the like. I'm a bit scared to leave the house though, because monsters keep showing up when I do.
Love that so much. Next we've got Rowan. Tell us a little bit about Dovak and yourself.
Hi, I'm Rowan North. I'm going to take off the hood for introducing myself. Hi, I'm Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator, and you can find my stuff at rowannorthillustrations.org. I'm about to drop some scrapbooking grab bags, so if you want those for like junk journals and things like that, I have those coming up. I play Dovak, and Dovak is he runs a up and coming gang called the Back Alley Fools, and they run the Back Alley games, which are, of course, in a back alley, kind of classier, despite that fact. But they're basically supposedly low stakes games for things like artifacts of power and drugs and things like that, things that you can normally not get a hand on without paying a high price. So yes, that is Dovak, and you can usually find him in his little tent reading fortunes or playing card games. So yeah. That is me.
Awesome. Next, we've got Hannah. Tell us a little bit about V and yourself.
Greetings, I'm Hannah, or Whoa Hannah, and today I'm playing V, who I have not figured out a voice yet for, but V is a changeling. She was kidnapped as a human baby and basically turned into a pseudo-fae. She doesn't really mind, it's fine. She doesn't really have affiliations like the others do, and kind of just wanders about doing odd jobs and is generally just pops in wherever she feels like. She's a little bit of a free spirit that way.
Awesome. Next is me. Hi, I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related. Throw my link tree into chat there. If you're watching later on the Fantasy Network and can't see chat, that is linktr.ee/theraven, like it says below my face. And then I am playing a character that I've played before, but this is a little bit of a different version of them that's been hurled into the future. If anybody is watching that remembers Tickfall Files, I'm playing Tilda Jenkins, who goes by Promethea in the city. And she was messing around with some magic to try to fix some problems that she had, and ended up getting kind of dumped into the underworld of lower LA 40 years into the future. And now she's trying to make her way back. And part of that is, starting a revolution and trying to bring down the system. It's, as you do. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's me and Tilda. And the next we've got Econorlax. Tell us a little bit about Rusty and yourself.
Hello everybody, I'm Econorlax and I play TTRPGs with whoever of the wonderful people of Twitch will have me. And between games, if my executive dysfunction and social anxiety let me, I tinker a little with various things in the internet, Twitch included. Maybe some will turn out to be something someday, me included, because I'm a fixer-upper project in progress too. And I'm playing Rusty. Rusty is, well, much bigger version of Baldur. I'm a Storm King too. And Rusty has been here for quite some long time. And, well, they gained much mass in the progress and lost much of their intellect. So Rusty is just taking odd jobs here and there, not needing much money. Usually they either deliver something, carry something, or protect something, because that's what Rusty is good at. Protecting and carrying. As they are huge slab of rock and steel. Like huge. 10 feet.
Love that. All right, and then Yaz, tell us about this wonderful world that you have for us and your wonderful self, and take it away.
I'm gonna try so hard not to squeal about this. Welcome to Neon Devils Season 2. This world and this whole entity, because it's a lot bigger than just a game, is a collaborative project with my really good friend Troll here, who's here in chat, who is also my dramaturge for this game. So when there are magic related or folklore related questions, I do have Troll on standby to assist me. Neon Devils is there's so much. Neon Devils takes place in the city of Deus Angelis, and Deus was built on the dregs of old LA after an alternative history civil war that happened around 2020, around this time. And it is the shining beacon of hope and magic and inclusivity, but we all know that that is a facade, because they are most certainly not. And the regulation and restrictions that are put on a Tau, meaning non-humans and changelings and other
magic users of the kind in the city is incredibly hard to bear with and oftentimes violent in the uprising against it. And below Deus, the dregs of LA have actually continued to thrive and civilization has built itself up, living in the shadow of this city built on stilts. And chat, oh my god. Okay, so that's why I can't read chat while I'm talking.
Sorry.
Okay. And our game this season takes place primarily in Old LA, among the scum of the earth that has collected underneath in this shadow, and we find some very, very interesting and wonderful characters, which we have already heard about. And our story begins, there is a job. The gang, the Vectra, who are well-known drug cartel and artifact dealers, especially from we kind of colloquially call it the old world, but from the 3 cities. Well, technically it's only 2 because you don't fuck with the 3rd city. But they deal primarily in these high-end, very magical, and often very dangerous, both substances and artifacts. And they have put an all-call out for non-gang members or gang members, they don't really care, to come and do some extra work for them. And that is where we really start. I did want to kind of go through and hear about each of your characters' day and how you managed to sidle on over to the warehouse on the wharf, which is where old Long Beach would have been if it had survived the Civil War, but it didn't, and now it's an industrial hub of gross.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Yay, following! I guess we'll start with Turi, and we'll just go kind of down the road to hear about your day and how you end up at the docks.
Okay. So what time of day is it at the moment?
It is probably late afternoon to evening. And sundown and sunup are the only times that sun really ever reaches old LA, by the way.
So for Turi, she would have finished up a night shift at the casino as a croupier, gone home, slept until at least 1, and she just usually has a good hunch. She just goes for a walk and she just follows her intuition. So she's just having a lovely stroll at the moment. She doesn't plan things.
All right. Hannah, what is it V or Vi?
Oh, it's V.
Okay, what is V doing and how does she end up over there?
Well, she's probably heard about this job through the grapevine because she keeps her ear to the ground a lot of the time, liking gossip and being in the know in general, and also just liking odd jobs. But she just kind of, as soon as she heard about it, start wandering over because, like, making money's nice. Maybe getting to hear some stuff from the Vectras could be nice.
All right. And Ekino, how does Rusty end up over there?
Well, Rusty lived quite a sedentary life for quite some time before the events of this game, and with the arrival of Tilda, they got a little more active, so that means they need more money for a can of oil here and there. Because, well, they are burning fuel more intensively, and it's not for free. And while Rusty could maybe take whatever they want, it's not the road they want to follow. So yeah, that's the why. That's why Rusty would be interested in taking some odd job. And
All right.
well, that's all the story. Rusty simply appeared, first heard, then seen.
Excellent, excellent. All right. And then Paladin, what is Balder doing?
Well, I'll never leave the house, so if I were to go somewhere, I'd need my friends to tell me that there was an opportunity for money to be made, and then bring me along because I've got no idea where to go. So,
And if you were looking for someone, I would happily drop by if I know
There
that
you
you
go.
need money and stuff.
solutions. So, you would visit me, tell me that you're going for, a job to make lots of money, and I need money because I live in a house, and houses need rent, and also I need food. And my dad is in the hospital, and contrary to popular opinion, they're still not free, even if you work in a hospital, because this is still the United States, sort of. So everything is really expensive healthcare-wise. So I would follow you.
Imagine like V literally popping upside down through the window, being like, "Hey,
Oh, hello.
I got a job. You want a job? Do you need money? How are you feeling? How are we doing?
I really do, actually.
Fantastic. Let's go. You got permission to leave? Well, you have my permission to leave. Let's go."
I should leave a note,
That's a great idea.
and I'll write a little note with like runes and stuff,
Cute.
because that's the only language I would know to write, I think, because he hasn't been educated super well either. And then I would just follow you with some reasonable athletic ability. So
All
I
right.
would jump out the window.
V slinks more than anything. She's probably like constantly moving around, but she makes sure that you know how to follow her.
So what's this job we're doing? Is it
Like-
like moving boxes or?
Yeah, basically. Vectra's got some stuff going on. They're moving some things.
Is Vector a friend of yours then?
Eh. They're
All right,
someone's
cool.
people, a group.
I hope they like me.
Aw, no one could dislike you, Balter. You're wonderful.
Ah, that's nice of you to say.
So you guys, you're able to get to the site actually a bit early, and we'll come back to that. Rowan with Dovak, can you tell me how, like, why or how they get there?
Well, first off, you said that they're offering like artifacts and drugs for this job kind of thing.
It's
just
purely money. They're not
Purely, okay.
offering anything specific other than money. You just know that that's what they handle.
Okay. I honestly think that at first he is uninterested. It's like odd jobs for another gang. I'm not really interested. But then I think he's just doing his own reading for himself with his cards, and it tells him like, look, there's more here than you think. And he starts getting a little, piques his curiosity. So he's not quite willing to necessarily do the odd jobs yet. He's just doing research, like, what's going on here?
Maybe we'll go check this out. You
Yeah.
don't have to work, but you can stop by to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Precisely.
all
So
right.
it's just kind of slinking around, just
Cool.
Like,
I
cool.
like that. And Raven, can you tell me what Promethea is like, why she's doing what she's doing and how she gets there?
Yeah, so Prometheus trying to start, as we know, a revolution and movement in Lower Deus. and of course, those things require resources and money. And the Vectra seem like the lesser of the evils to work with. So I imagine she's probably taking the job here for those reasons. And it never hurts to have your sort of ear to the wall around a group like this. So a little bit of getting money, a little bit of keeping tabs on the Vectra, and a little bit of networking, I guess.
Excellent. And about what time or how do you sally forth?
Like what time of day do I go, or?
More like so the job starts after dark because that's how the Vector operate. But you can get there early. Are you going with Rusty? Like, are you dragging Rusty along with you? Or do you show up earlier than Rusty is? Just trying to get an idea of, like, as you guys walk into the scene.
Yeah, I think she'd show up early to kind of case the place, get a feel for what's going on, make sure it's not a trap or an ambush or anything like that. And sort of spy out escape routes and things like that if necessary.
All right, sweet. So those of you that are arriving early, that's going to be Vi, Balder, probably Dovak.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's just like hanging out.
Yeah, he's like against the wall smoking, like he's just chilling.
Turi, are you showing up early or are you a right on time kind of gal?
I wander in by accident because
Okay.
I didn't really have a destination. So I think maybe I can bump into old Vi and Balder on the way there.
All right, cool. And real quick, Rusty, you're covered in vulcanized rubber, right? Is that what I was saying?
No, I meant just feet and hands. Entire rest is just hidden under big tarp/raincoat.
All right.
I'm covered in plastic, but hands and feet are like covered literally.
Okay, cool. All right. I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same page. Rusty, do you show up early in your coverings or do you wait until nightfall?
I mean, if the meeting is at a given hour, I show up at given hour. Why overcomplicate things? And I
All
don't.
right.
And being careful is for smaller meteor types. Rusty doesn't care about ambushes. Ambushes are simply are surprise parties.
Excellent. All right, so for those of you that are, so Turi runs into Vi and Balder, and you guys are able to get to the lot in front of this warehouse a little bit early. They haven't opened the doors, but you can see that there are people milling about, and there's all kinds of people. Sorry. I was debating on how much I wanted to include a specific NPC, but they don't work for the Vector anymore, so y'all are fine. There's several people that are milling about.
That
guy. However, there does seem to be one particular person that's standing beside the door, has a clipboard, looks a little bit more in charge. The majority of the leader-ish characters that are kind of milling about, smoking cigarettes, whatever, chatting with each other, they're all very slick-skinned with mottled green, blue, and black tones. They all have very dark, like the whites of their eyes are all black with various shades of blue. They have wild hair, usually that's tied back and out of their faces, and they're all wearing some kind of leather jacket and thick steel-toed boots. You kind of get the idea that there's sort of like this uniform look going on, and that they're the ones that are sort of running this shindig. For Dovak and Promethea, could I have you both roll sharp for me for your kind of checking things out?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What is my sharp? New character. Who this?
I feel
7.
that existentially.
All right. That's just. I just realized that this is not a D20 system.
It's not.
2d6. So on your character sheet, you can just hit roll.
I've always GM'd. I've never actually played.
Rowan, on the character sheet, you just hit the little red die next to sharp, and it'll throw it into roll 20.
I got real dice, but fine.
You do whatever you want.
The mood. I have like a whole chest of dice, and I'd
Yeah.
only play on stream now, so like I never
know.
get to use them.
I accidentally left all of my dice in California, so I'm all digital this week. All right, we're gonna revisit that. So the three of you that are arriving early, you roll up, and this is where you're at. Neither of you are going to be aware of Dovak or Promethea yet.
Oh,
How
this
would you
is
like to
busy.
Yeah, I guess they really needed a lot of help for this one.
I hope there's enough work for everyone.
Oh, we'll make sure we get you some money, hon.
Don't worry, I'll give you a lucky charm. Look, you can have this paperclip.
Oh, that's good.
Take it.
That. Never
I'll
had
give
any
you
real
luck.
paper to clip before.
But you don't use it as a paperclip.
Oh, what am I
Next
gonna
time you
use it
need to
for
be
then?
lucky, just hold this.
Ah.
Is it lucky because it's coming from you?
Yeah.
Can I pin it on my coat?
Ooh, that would look quite sharp.
There we go. That's nice.
But it only works once. It only works once. And then I have to give you another one.
Do you have many paper clips with you?
I mean, and she sort of rummages her pockets and she's like, you can have a receipt.
Oh, thanks.
It'll be lucky, I promise.
What's it a receipt for?
It's a receipt for toilet paper.
Oof.
Fantastic. Thank you.
How much toilet paper did you buy? Just to have a full receipt of toilet paper. Was it for like the business you work for? You're like, we're out of toilet paper.
No,
emergency run.
I was just doing, my weekly shop.
And you just needed toilet paper.
It
there
pays
any-
to be
yeah.
prepared.
Shopping for a whole week, and all you need is
Look,
toilet
I
paper.
work nights, okay? You forget things.
Learn a lot about your
all right,
character.
all right.
Yes, is there like any kind of like conversation or interesting looking conversation going on around?
There is one conversation that seems to be kind of heated. It's not really done in hushed tones. Like, it just seems to be like two cantankerous people who have had a cantankerous disagreement. But it looks like it's just about to come to shoving. Like, they are and it's two of these leather clad Atau that like one of them's got like their fist balled up in one of their jackets is like in their face, and they're yelling about something or other, but they're a little disconnected from the group, and everybody just seems to be actively ignoring them.
What are they yelling about?
It sounds like they're yelling about a financial dispute. Like, you hear things like, I can't believe you sold this, like, you sold my car, you asshole, kind of thing. And he's like, and it's for a better thing. Like, you should have seen what I got for it. And like flashes something in his jacket. And like the guy just like, the other one, the adversary, is just like, no, I can't believe you, kind of thing. Yeah, so.
Oh my
So
God.
And these are members of the Vectra?
You would assume so because they are the ones that kind of look like they've been leading or preparing to lead everybody else.
So how come the Vectors have got so much money to give away?
Well, they're kind of a pretty big gang, so they do a lot of business in Old LA. Not always savory business, but that's usually the most profitable kind.
How come they're not wearing suits then? I thought business people wore suits.
Professionalism can be any aesthetic.
Oh.
And sometimes aesthetic is more important than wearing a stuffy old suit.
Because they do all look to be wearing the same thing a bit.
It's like a uniform, but intimidating. Like when snakes have certain markings to...
Oh, these are just the workers. I got you. Right.
Yeah. I bet the bosses wear suits.
It's a one-off job, right? We don't have to join them.
Oh gosh, no. I think I'm going to join the Vectra?
Sorry,
I
go
get
on.
bored easily, and I don't want another job, full-time job.
That's okay. It's
That's
just a
not
bit of
much.
side cash.
Yeah, as long as it's fun.
Well, we can always make it fun if it's boring.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. So you guys are kind of hanging out, doing your thing. Dovak and Tilda, you guys are coming. You guys don't know of each other. You have, unless you've run into each other before. But as you're kind of snooping around earlier,
I think we know of each other. Like Prometheus, clearly, since Dovak has his, ear to the ground.
Right.
He knows about
certainly...
Promethea and the shit that she's getting into and causing more trouble for him and his crew. So.
Yeah, she's been operating for about 3 months, so probably not the legend that she's trying to be yet, but I imagine people know the name.
It would be kind of like do you know what this Promethea thing is? And other people being like, I don't know, something. Because of how early on in this is. Yeah, I saw a poster. It's kind of rad. So Promethea, I don't know if you would know of Dovak, but you would probably know of Dovak's gang. But you don't really notice each other doing the Snoopy Snoops. You get to the site earlier. You see essentially the similar thing that the other characters have seen, but you're able to kind of give them the slip. Or they just don't care. You're not sure. Things that you do find, you know that there are several entrances, exits. There is a second level, but it doesn't appear that there is any entrance or exits from along the walls from the second level. You would be familiar with this type of warehouse, and you know that there is a fire escape and an entrance exit at the top. There are several cameras around the building, but you kind of get the idea that you're not sure if they work. That's your little tidbit for that. Do you try and go in at all?
Or everyone else does?
Yes.
Are we expected to go in, to start the job, or?
You will be inside when the job starts.
Okay. Then yeah, I think once Tilda checks out the outside and kind of plans her route of escape if she needs it, then yeah, she'll just go inside.
I would like to use a move, I think, actually.
What move would you like?
I think I'm going to cast the bones.
Okay.
And I'm basically going to do a reading for myself, all right, what's the situation here? This is the move. Oh, well,
No.
fuck that.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
The first XP!
love that for me.
I assume that in casting your bones, you're actually just drawing your tarot deck.
Yeah, so I'm just like going through my cards and, you know, probably doing a reading for myself. Like, what's the situation? Tell
While
me
you're
about.
doing a reading for it, you're not. Maybe it's Butterfingers or something, but you spill all your cards out. And there's a Two of Wands. There's a Two of Wands that ends up on top. But it's scattered with so many other cards that you're honestly not sure what any of that means, and you're just like, fuck.
Great. So much for that.
On the plus side, nobody was around to notice.
Yeah.
At least not in the party.
Yeah. Aside from that, I guess just listening more than anything. I'm probably making sure I'm more near the front of this group, listening to the people in uniform, because I am familiar with this gang. I mean, as another gang, you know.
Yeah, you would want to be in the know of what's going on and who's doing what.
That's more of it. Like, I ain't walking into like some sort of human experiment thing, am I? You know.
Yeah. So the general vibe that you both get on the outside is that the Vectra are being fairly honest. They're offering honest to God work for honest to God money. They're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. Like, out of all of the gangs, the Vectra are fairly, like, I want to say straight-laced, but they're not. They're a bunch of drug dealers. So, you know, but they know what they are, and they're not trying to fool anybody about what they are or what they're doing. So you don't get the vibe that there's anything weird going on. Tilda, do you wait for the job to open the doors, or do you just like find yourself inside?
It kind of depends on like how early I am. If I'm like an hour early, then you should probably, you know, wait around a little bit longer. But if it's just like 15 minutes or so, then yeah, she'll just find her way inside and kind of look around.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're keeping everybody pretty much in the yard until the job is ready to begin. With these conversations or these bits of information, Rusty, you do show up, sundown happens, and they're ready to start pushing, start escorting people inside. But I wanted to ask, do any of you guys do anything with the conversations or the people that you have around you?
I mean, like, I'm just on the lookout for any hot gossip.
I'm waiting for something interesting to happen because I'm a bit bored.
Okay.
I'm looking at everything, but I think I'm too scared to just go up and talk to people. I'm also nervously checking for monsters.
Okay.
You never know.
Aren't we all monsters in our own way?
Yeah, are we
monster.
talking like a tower, or are we talking like straight up people or creatures that have malintent?
Maybe humans are the real
Tilda-
monsters.
Hey,
That's
I
true.
resemble that statement.
Tilda's keeping an eye on the door for Rusty because she knows that Rusty will be joining her at some point. But aside from that, it isn't really getting involved in anything. I imagine since she's inside already, she probably doesn't hear at least not much of that conversation that happened outside. So she's just keeping an eye on the door.
Okay. All right.
I've like totally blanked. What exactly is this job? Just moving stuff?
They actually haven't specified.
Oh, okay, perfect. I was like, did I miss something important? And my brain is just like
No,
fizzling out of my ears right now.
It said
It's
that
IT work.
they said that it was some manner of manual labor, and that is the only information that that you have been given about the job. So Rusty, you show up, and it's about at the same time that the guy with the clipboard at the door is like kind of like straightens his jacket out and pushes off the wall and comes forward, is like, hey, everybody here that's here for the work tonight, I need your names, and you'll be paid in cash after the job is done. come and get your job details.
My name's Balder.
We can tell him when we get there, hun.
Oh, right. Oh, that's much better.
So now you guys are all in the same yard and you're kind of coalescing. If you would recognize each other, would be the time to start recognizing each other.
I'm gonna wave at Dovak because I'm sure I have a passing familiarity with him, being someone who just kind of hops in and out of everywhere.
Have you played the games?
Maybe once or twice, like, and never wagering anything too crazy, just probably like
That's
checking
really
out
fair.
what you are.
Well, they're carnival games, you know. You
Yay.
have things like darts, you have things like spinning a wheel, you've got cards. He does fortune telling as well as gambling. It's things like that. So it really is like a mini back alley carnival. And
She probably just shows up to play fun
with
games
extra-
sometimes then.
Yeah, but with extra gambling and higher wagers. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, it's a cool place to hang, the back alley. So I think you may know Dovak or his gang in passing.
Mhm.
So
I would have probably attended as well and probably been thrown out.
yeah, like you're a little too lucky. So yeah, unlike those reality TV shows that are anything, if you're too good, they will kick you out.
I think Tilda would give like a knowing sort of friendly for Tilda nod. So it's not like an overly friendly nod, but for her it is to Rusty. And then sort of size up everybody else. I don't know that she would have done anything with like Dovak, but she's probably been into some of the casinos and things for reasons. So she might have seen Tori or V possibly.
Are you like, is your face and look associated with Promethea, or is that kind of hush hush?
Not exactly. So most of the Promethea propaganda that's like around the city and stuff is a blue phoenix. But Tilda's just got well, she looks like the picture behind me. She's got sort of like shoulder length, darker blonde hair. Looks like it's probably been dyed, and is wearing sort of a stiff leather jacket, like a motorcycle jacket. So it's like quote unquote armored leather jacket, sort of, but not like armored for a fight, but armored to not get road rash if you fall off a motorcycle type of thing. So it's that type of leather jacket, and it's dark colored, and leather pants. And she's got a really large, like, hand cannon type gun strapped to one thigh, and a very strange looking, looks leather bound, but a little bit like a weird kind of leather book strapped to the other thigh.
Does she like kind of like exist around the city? Like, would she be out and about in areas? I'm just trying to like figure out if V would even passingly recognize you.
She moves around a lot, so she's probably been all over the city. She probably like pops up everywhere, and you're like, didn't I just see you like on the other side of town? Kind of a thing. Because she never stays in one place very long.
Yeah, busy type. Excellent.
I think for Tori, if you've been to the casino, she would have seen you but not remembered you unless you did something amazing that night. Because she would have dealt to hundreds of people a night. So you might recognize me.
She
Unless
might have had a especially lucky night or two.
Okay.
Suspiciously so. But not like consistently.
Okay.
Cool. And then of course, Rusty, are you so this would be the hour in which you've shown up as everybody's being called into a line. Do you just fall in line behind everybody else as the 10-foot monstrosity that you are?
Well, when Rusty entered, they probably nodded to Tilda and Dovak because they work for them in similar capacity. I have to know Turi because if I work for Dovak, I have to know who to look out for.
Hi.
Oh.
and Balder
I'm not allowed in.
and Via probably not.
right,
Not
so
him
you didn't
personally,
move-
but Rusty is a local feature. So how many moving tarps you know about?
Yeah, you said you didn't move for a really long time, right?
Yeah.
You're like pretty
So-
sedentary.
Yeah. So I think Rusty simply stands in line last and not talking much. It's a job. That's how things are rolling.
Very cool. All right.
So Dovak, as opposed to like, I guess falling in line and going for the list, I want to see if he can slip past. Basically, be like, I'm just here, you know.
I believe that stealth is a cool roll. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Can
Yeah.
be if you want it to be.
Cool,
That's
kind of
usually-
because it's act under pressure, right?
Yeah, that's usually what I use for stealth. Do you have any specific stealthy related moves? I'm just going through to check.
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, go ahead and roll cool for me, or yeah, well, I'll just have you roll cool, and we'll do it as a general.
I rolled a 2.
You like go to sneak in, and the guy's just like clears his throat. He's like, there's a line, buddy.
Oh, my bad.
Does Tilda notice this by chance?
I would assume so. This is
That was
ahead
a fun too. That's how
Okay.
low. That's pretty much as lowest you can get without having a
think
-1.
I think she's gonna mutter like loud enough that anybody immediately around her would hear and just be like, "Oh my god, these amateurs are gonna get us killed."
I'm waiting for you to roll your miserable rolls as well. It's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
know.
great.
V just has a little smirk when she hears Tilda. It's like,
Sitting in a beanbag is really hard, guys. All right. So they start shuffling you inside. And as you're kind of going in, Rusty and Balder, you're sort of absolutely profiled and kind of shuffled off from the group with a handful of other very strong looking individuals, other workers that might have the capacity for carrying and moving large pieces of equipment.
They don't
And-
mind that I'm little.
Nope, they don't mind. They just see that you're strong.
Okay.
V, should
I
we
think
go
I
with
would notice
Baldur?
Rusty then if we're put together, right, in the same group.
Yes.
Pretty obvious. Like,
Yep.
oh no. I'll walk up to you. Hey, you, can you leave me alone for like just a few days? I've got money to make. You can come and fight me later, yeah?
The hood lowers a bit to look down at you. Why are you looking for a fight?
I'm not looking for a fight. You're looking for a fight. That's why you're here. But I'm too busy. I've got work to do. So,
You're a funny pebble.
V.
so that means you're not going to fight me?
Yes, Tori. Should we go and give Baldur back up? I think he's accidentally starting a fight.
Balder,
Yes.
make friends.
Aye, but that's a monster.
Remember the paperclip?
No. It's okay. He's just here for work too.
Is that right, Monster? Are you just looking for a job then?
I guess.
All right then, that's good. It's nice to see you're turning your life around. If only all monsters would do that, hmm? What a paradise the world would be.
He's fine. It'll be fine. He's fine.
He has my
Rust.
paperclip. He'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Rusty is processing heavily. This will take some time to form a cohesive response.
Valid. The rest of you, Cheery, V, and Dovak and Tilda. Dovak, did you actually fall into line and follow with everyone else?
May as well, but he
Okay.
will probably give a fake name. A fake name is, yeah.
Several
No.
levels of fake name later.
I was gonna say
Yes.
if anybody from the Vectra asks for Tilda's name, she's just gonna say Mira.
Okay. Yeah, the Vector really don't seem like they care what your name is, just that you give them a name, simply so that they can pay you out afterwards. The four of you are kind of ushered further into the building, where there are several rows of long tables and what looks like kind of like a factory line setup of slapping labels onto vials, or various stages of prepping product. The product in question, you guys are kind of like scattered among the others that have come in for work, but you primarily are the ones that are very carefully pouring the product into the vials. This product glows upon its own volition in a very, very silvery blue and ethereal, almost translucent but viscous material, and it's put into these small bottle capped vials that you airtight seal and then put into packages. Jeremy Fitzgerald. And they kind of like, they show you a little bit how to do it, and then they're hands up. You are set to do the work at hand.
Now, would Dovak know what this
Absolutely.
is?
Also,
That's
V?
exactly it.
Yep. If your character is familiar with drugs, or the
Absolutely.
current street drugs, you would very, very much know that this drug is called the Veil. The Veil, yes. If you watch season 1, the Veil had a brief comeuppance. But now they are mass producing it, and it is a drug that allows mortal or potentially a Tau that cannot make it back to separate their spirit from their body and go walk among the city. Now, this drug is very dangerous because if you die in this city, your body dies in old LA, and it happens way more often than it should.
You die in the Veil, you die in real life.
Yes. So that's kind of a little side information for those that would be familiar. And you guys are put to work. If you would like to know your surroundings a little bit better, can I have you roll sharp? And I'm going to hop over to Rusty and Balder again. Rusty and Balder and the other beefier Tau or mortals are all ushered past this processing place where Turi, Vi, Dovik, and Tilda are set up, and kind of into what looks like there's no walls, but beyond that is kind of like these massive shelves with lots of product in boxes. And you are all, like, everything seems to be very, very well labeled, very well organized, and very easy to understand and read. And you are tasked with obtaining boxes and pulling them off the shelves and putting them in prep stage areas. and you are given a list. Rusty and Balder, you're put in a single team together and given one of those lists, and you have to work together to obtain these boxes and send them in these correct places.
Can you read this?
Oh. I hoped you would be the one to do the reading.
No, sadly.
Wait, you can't?
No.
Okay. Letters. Oh. Hmm. Do all the boxes go in the same place?
Generally.
I say it out, hoping somebody answers.
Sorry, go on.
Do we just move all the boxes? That's easy enough.
Exactly. So maybe, hop on the shelf and just be careful no boxes drop from the shelf.
Well, you can pick the ones from the top. You're the big
No.
I'll take
You
the
go
ones from
on-
the bottom.
No. You go on the top of the shelf and watch boxes not fall. And
I don't want
Rusty
to climb
picks
on
up
the
the
top of this. I'm gonna take the
Rusty
ones from
picks
the
up
bottom.
the shelf entire.
Oh. Like that. All right. No, I got you. And I will do that.
Okay. You guys get set to work. Let's hop back to our
That was like
smaller
it.
characters. Sorry, go on.
Circus. It's like a circus over there.
All right. So, V, Tilda, and Dovek. I'm sorry, Thierry. You get super wrapped up into what you're doing, and you're not very aware of the surroundings. You're like, yeah, money, let's do this. But the rest of you, what was it? Who got the 9? Tilda,
did,
you
yeah.
see the essentially the basics. You can see that there is a stairway that goes up to a second level that likely houses offices or smaller storages. And you see on one side of the wall, there seems to be additional offices or potentially clean rooms where some of the finer details or finer product might be packaged up and prepared. And you can assume that that fire escape entrance is going to be on the second level. Now, for V and Dovak, you see all of this that Tilda sees, but you also make note that there is one particular person that's kind of watching everything from one of the windows on the second floor, kind of like maybe like a foreman. You get the idea of. This character is not very, very visible. The office is dark, but you make out a silhouette as they are being watched. And you get the impression that their body language is very impatient. There seems to be something that they're waiting for. But you don't know what yet.
Interesting. So Dovak would like to use his rote.
All right.
Luck of the cards. So he will draw like one card from his pocket, flip it over. Basically, his intention is he wonders if he can sneak some of this out of here and have it magically end up back in the back alley, for his games.
All right.
Should I pull out my own tarot deck for this?
Yes, please. Absolutely. And can you describe to us what your requirements for this rote are?
It is
and how you prep it.
Here, I will do this. Can I roll my own dice for that? I just want to show you the. Wait, it didn't bring up
Yes.
the thing. Oh,
It's okay. I've got it right here, but for the audience, I
Okay.
want you to share with us how you've prepared this rope.
so this rote. He has his own cards that will be coming later, but this rote in particular is using these tarot cards and then sprinkling a little bit of ash and gold dust. Ash specifically from criminals or gang leaders, drug lords, people who have caused an uproar and stir within society, who have been cremated. He has taken their ash and put it in this special mixture with gold dust. And
Sick. I love it.
yeah, don't mind me, I'm just shuffling. This isn't his deck. His deck should be here this afternoon, but this will do for now. All right. Once more with feeling. Okay, Queen of Wands upside down. And I rolled an 8 plus 2, that's 10, so that's a success.
Nice. All right. All right. So you cast this rote. And the image on the card kind of comes to life and almost like the ink on the card lifts off the paper and you see this Queen of Wands gathering all of the wands in the card together in her hands and then lays back down into the card.
So he watches this and he mutters on his breath like, thanks, buddy. Like, always say thank you to your cards when they do what you want.
right. So
You got my back.
you are given the opportunity. It's almost like watching things out of the corner of your eye. You see these tiny little elements that were in your card, almost like a hallucination. Just
Ooh.
sort of like you know when you're looking at like paper that's hanging and the paper is kind of moving like a mobile but it disappears for just a second.
Yeah.
That's very much what these little hallucinations look like. And you see the perfect opportunity to gather what product you want without anybody looking at you.
Nice. So he wears this kind of like long vest thing with like a fur collar. But in the inside, I imagine he has little pockets where he keeps like his ash and his other materials and things like that. So he just like picks one or two, like knowing that he's clear to go, and just slips it in those pockets.
Excellent. All right. Tarifi or Tilda, do you just do the work or?
I think Turi would be like, I didn't know it would be this boring. I wouldn't have come if we just had to work in a factory. Shall we bust out?
We'd have to go get Balder first.
Oh, yeah. Shall we bust out?
You just walk in for a job that's offered everything off the street and then you're like, nah, bye.
I'm bored.
I mean, you don't have to stay. I'm just here to make some money, honestly.
I guess. I just thought we'd be, I don't know, doing something a bit more cool, you know?
You don't think packaging drugs is cool?
No.
That's fair, actually, honestly.
I don't know. I thought we'd be like, you know, let's go undercover and lie to the cops and things like that.
I don't think they'd open jobs like that up to the general public.
Well, they would for me. But yeah, I get your point.
Would this be loud and or close enough for Tilda to hear this conversation?
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
and or
Yeah,
Dovak.
like regular volume. So yeah,
We're just
if you're half
talking like
listening.
totally normal.
Yeah, and or Dovak. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I think
definitely.
Tilda might just slide on over. Let's see. So you're bored and you want to make this job more interesting?
Hi, stranger.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, you look familiar.
You do. Have I seen you around town?
I get around a lot. And she sort of leans in and like in a hushed tone, but like, don't tell the Vectra, but I'm Promethea.
Ooh,
Did
what's
you?
that?
How close is Dovak to this?
You're pretty close. You're not within like reaching distance, but y'all are within like 10, 15 feet of each other.
So he literally hears her say that.
He
I
might
mean, if you're-
not.
If you're
Because
listening
he's-
intently, do it
Oh,
in a
yeah.
hushed tone for the Promethea part.
Because Dovek was kind of interested when Turi and V were like, "Oh, this is boring. I want to do like police
Yeah.
chase, hide from the law." And Dovek's like, "Wait, this is the chick that we had to kick out of the back alley games. I wonder if we could have her work for me." And then Tilda got in there first, and I was just like, he's like, "Ah, damn. Well, what does she have to offer?" So I imagine. Do you want me to roll for that or something?
No, I will just allow it to
Okay.
happen. So you are
So-
able to hear that. Go on.
Okay. So yeah, Tilda says, well, if you're wanting to make this interesting, we could try and make a lot of this just not work for whoever ends up with it later. That could make life interesting for a lot of people.
How do you mean?
She just sort of taps the book on her thigh. It says, magic.
Mm.
We're just going to tweak with the recipe a little bit.
Oh my god, if you fail, I hope you know there's
Oh, I know.
consequences. Okay.
There
I'm
will
ready to
be
spend
consequences.
I'm
So-
ready to spend a luck on this if necessary.
Dovak is actually going to keep out of it wisely.
How will that be fun for us?
Because you get to distract the people watching. And then later you get to hear stories about how the Vectra sold a bunch of drug that didn't do anything.
Bad batch product.
I mean,
Exactly. And that would raise the demand on Dovak's little.
Clean product. All right.
Yeah,
All right. I see
so-
what you're getting at.
So he's staying out of it. He's keeping an eye on them, but he's like, I'll be over here doing my own thing.
I think
Yeah.
Turi would take one because she has
Raise
the
supply and demand.
She'd take one of the bottles and kind of go, "Oops," and just fling it over her shoulder.
All right.
I was going to
Before we
ask
get-
what kind of distraction she had in mind, but okay.
All right. Before we get into what happens next, let's hop back to Rusty and Palder.
As we
guys-
get back to us, I want like a little visual from the point of view of everyone else, like as they're looking over, over the crowd to where we are. Like you see Rusty with like the shelf going past, and then one of the boxes falls off, and then there's me following with like 3 boxes, and then I catch it, and then I follow, just balancing a couple boxes.
Also, remember, I'm really lucky, so it might mean that nothing happens to the bottle as well.
Right.
Is your
As
luck about
okay.
intention or how, or is your luck about keeping you safe? Does your luck care what you want?
I don't
That
think it really
depends
cares
on
what
our
she wants. Luck is just luck. But for Rusty and Balder, Paladin, can you repeat that?
Sure.
You blipped out for me. I don't know if
Did I?
yeah, like it just might be my internet connection. The audio sort of went wee.
Okay. I want them to see us moving boxes with Rusty carrying the shelf with all the boxes on it, and then the boxes, just one of the boxes slides off as he walks past, and then you see me carrying a stack of boxes, catching it, and then having a tough time balancing it all, and then following him.
Aw, you teetering. Cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm carrying a lot of boxes.
And you guys take all of these boxes and head towards where you're supposed to be putting them. The walk isn't long, but it's long enough.
Yeah, I have a question for Baldur. So, who's your mother, father, Little Rock?
Oh, my dad is Goron. Do you know him? Works at the hospital.
Yeah, a little.
Oh,
Do they know you're here?
no. You're not gonna
No?
hurt them, are you? Because, you're a monster. They're not allowed to hurt my dad. That's not fair.
Drusty is processing again. Why would I hurt them?
Mm-hmm.
They're stalking like me and you.
Aye, but you're a bit different. What happened to you?
I ate a building from inside.
Well, that's not good. I thought maybe you
Yeah.
summoned the devil or something. That's what happens in the stories.
Well, life is full of stories too. They might be less fancy, but
Wait,
not
are you-
less
are you-
interesting.
Are you not a real monster then? Are you just, someone who looks a bit different?
That depends who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you.
I still believe that's the right answer. That depends on who you ask.
You?
I don't feel like I'm a monster,
Alright, yeah, it's good then.
but I have squashed some people in my life, and I think they would beg to differ.
Maybe. Depends on who you squashed. Did they come at you with, torches and pitchforks? Because, then what are you gonna do, right?
Well, nobody comes with pitchforks for Rusty. Pitchforks are useless.
What about torches then? Is that good?
I drop a shelf and put my hand on Baldur's shoulder. You feel
Around my whole body, I assume.
no, like around your shoulder from the side. You feel like the temperature is like maybe around 45, 50 Celsius.
Oh, you're warm. Ouch.
How do you think torches work against Rusty?
Did you eat a torch then? Was that what's happening?
Well, the building was on fire
Mm.
and on top of Rusty.
Mm.
It's complicated.
Okay.
It was long ago.
You keep saying Rusty. Is that your name then?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Baldur.
Don't you didn't your mother father told you about me?
No. I'm
I
not
thought
told a lot of stories.
I thought every Stonking kid is told about Rusty. Be
Not
careful
me.
what you eat, not to end like Rusty.
I eat mostly, tacos and those sorts of things. Just, normal food.
That's not normal food for Stonekin.
Oh. Should I eat something else?
Are those the things Goron is feeding you?
Sometimes.
You want, I mean, maybe don't eat a building like me, but it's not a healthy diet for our kind.
Oh.
Goron knows stuff about health. Why they are
Aye.
not feeding you healthy things?
Goran's a nurse, so they'd know all about that stuff.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So you.
I
I'll
don't
try to
know.
mirror Rusty's movements.
Oh.
I don't know
Adorable.
if. I don't think I should interfere with how mother-father feeds their children, though.
Okay. And I promise not to kill you.
So you
I
guys.
don't get this little guy.
It's really cute. You guys get kind of the end of the area where they're going to start where loading is. And the guy that's been like kind of managing kind of just like stops and looks at you both
Hello.
and like squints and looks at the shelf that Rusty has picked up. And he says, "Did you get this stuff on the list?"
We got all of it. All the stuff. Mm-hmm.
And he picks up the list and he looks.
Hey, that's mine.
He just like straight up takes it from you and looks at everything that you guys like. Actually, you did get most of it.
Hey, we got all of it. Everything, including the extra bits.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do we get paid extra or?
No.
Ah.
And this is about the time that you guys start hearing the commotion that is coming from the other end of this warehouse. Turi, can I just have you roll a d6?
D6.
Yes.
Do.
Oh no.
It does not break. The bottle, you toss this bottle behind you, and it goes through the rigmarole. It hits a table, knocks a whole bunch of other stuff off, rebounds, hits the floor. Everything hits the floor. A couple of the bottles break, but the one specifically that you threw does not break at all. And like immediately everybody is like all hands on deck, like, oh no, we gotta clean this up. The liquid that is spilled makes this soft hissing sound and emits like a mild gas into the air. But it's because only a couple of these things have only a couple of these things, it's not enough to cause like a mass reaction. I mean, you might not know that, but it's enough to cause a lot of grief. So even like you hear like shouts like mess in production, and like several of these Vectra Atau are just like showing up ready for cleanup duty, and everybody is very fixated on this spot.
Tilda's taking full advantage of the distraction, like immediately was planning on like discussing the distraction, but as soon as she sees Tori just chuck it, she's like, okay then, and sort of takes a step back, trying to not be in plain sight, and flips through her book, and essentially what she wants to do is take half of the vials essentially in the crate that they're working on, and have them just not go to the city. You just sort of like sit there next to your body until it wears off.
Turi's gonna follow what Promethea's doing, because now we're working together.
Now I gotta watch what's going on here.
Hilda, can I have you roll for what you're planning on doing while these people are busy?
Yes. Let me just check something real quick. I do have something that would apply here. So ancient magic, so when I use magic on a 7 to 9, don't choose a glitch, instead take -1 forward. So if it is a 7 or 9, I can do that. Okay.
All right.
Oh, but it's a 6. All right, I'm gonna use luck
Okay.
because I want this to work. Also for the exile special for luck, when you spend luck, you'll find something from your original life, maybe something good, maybe something bad.
Okay.
You know a
Scary
lot
laugh.
about this character's past, so
I'm suddenly imagining Tenryu just here like, hey.
Hey, employees.
oh my god, if Tenryu showed up, Tilda be like, hey, bang.
Oh, come on, you guys have worked
Hi,
with
Judah.
him. You guys worked with him for a long time after that. So
This
yeah, he's
Tilda
still a
has-
gigantic fucking man baby, but
This Tilda has 0 fucks to give. Sorry. But lots of bullets. And then yeah, I'm regarding the feedback thing, I'm not hearing it anymore, so whatever it was, it went away.
Okay, cool. Tilda, what do you want to do to these drugs? Like, what is
So-
the alteration that you're going to do to them?
So, what she wants to do is take basically affect half the drugs at random. So it's not like, just one whole crate's bad, or like, this top rope, just like completely randomized. And instead of it taking you to the third city,
It's the first city, not the third city.
or first city, sorry. Instead of taking
You're
you
good.
where it's supposed to take you, you just end up outside of your body next to it. Like, you just have to sit there and wait for it to wear off. It doesn't take you anywhere.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yep.
There's so many other awful nuances with that.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yep. Basically, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, so that's gonna make people angry, and it does something bad, so it's gonna make them more angry, and maybe we'll convince people don't do this again.
Okay. All right. You are, as far as you know, you're successful. Well, I mean, as far as I know, you're successful. And you are able to impact half this bad batch. And the Vectra are primarily unawares of what is going on. They're just more concerned about this mess. Balder and Rusty, you've kind of been adjacent to this. You heard the shouting. You've the guy that was at the decks was like, hey, I have to go handle this thing. Do you follow, or are you still are you sticking to your job or your guns or whatever?
If he says he has to go, I'll be like, oh, do you need us to come help?
The guy is like, no, we got it. Just keep working. Don't
job.
worry about it.
Go save all the people.
And he like finger guns at you and walks away.
Yeah.
So you guys are left. Sorry, go on.
I wait a moment until the guy leaves, and I actually need to check that because some of people there, I'm working for them.
Some of them are my
Sometimes.
friends as well, but I'm sure they can take care of themselves. They're all very smart.
The smarts are not what I'm hired for.
No? What is it that you do then?
They are plenty smart, but they can't smash things like I do.
Oh, so like bugs. If there's a spider, you come in and you...
Kind of.
I do that at my home as well. There's sometimes giant spiders come in. Takes forever to get them out of the carpet.
But please be quiet now, little pebble. We're sneaky. Contrary to the popular opinions, Rusty is not loud when they move because of all the rubber on Wellingtons.
All right.
There are vibration, but there is not a lot of noise. I'm well oiled.
I will need you both.
Roll cool rolls, I assume.
Okay, did we lose GM? Did the concept of sneaky Rusty was too much to bear?
Yeah,
I
looks like
cannot
those
imagine a giant mountain tarp.
rolls- There we go. We got you back. You froze there for a bit.
Yay!
guys.
Sorry. Can I have you both roll cool for me?
I
on
was
the
right.
mountain tarp.
Sorry, everything went silent. I was like, what?
10
What happened?
points to Gryffindor.
Cool. I just roll. Oh, I always forget about the input window. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
This is great. More
Um,
distractions.
So
You get XP.
Balder, yes.
Aye.
Echo, you do get XP, so don't forget to mark that. Balder, you're doing pretty all right. There's a couple hairy moments where you weren't sure that you were quiet, but you were quiet. Rusty was not.
That's probably the vibrations of his feet hitting the ground.
Yeah, I think like the vibrations rattle the shelving that you're passing, and like stuff just sort of rolls off the shelf.
And I'll catch some, but not all.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And Dovak kind of dive in and try to catch some of the other ones.
Dovik is still in the prep area.
Okay, so totally different area. Got it.
Yes. So you guys are sneaking around. Can you describe to me like how you're going about it? Like what sneaky sneaks are you doing?
Okay, that clearly can explain why the roll was so low, because I simply meant we are not making. We are stopping talking, and we stop talking, and we simply go to the prep room to see what happened. That's all.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure.
I just follow behind and try to not make noise.
My connection's a little spotty, so like I'm missing like little bits and pieces sometimes.
Yeah, Rusty simply wants to check what happened in the room where some of his associates are. That's all.
Gotcha. So you guys get back, and it's kind of a mess. There seems to be 4 or 5 people that are like actively working to clean up. They've sent several of the workers off to the side. You see both Turi, Dovik, and V, and Promethea, and they're kind of like, because they were in that area, they're sort of held there until the mess is finished. And yes, there's something that's going to happen, but I would like us to quickly go on break, and we will come back to that.
Okay.
All right, we will. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. So go stretch your legs, grab snacks, hydrate, all that good stuff, and then be back in 15 minutes, and we'll find out what new shenanigans we get up to. So we'll be right
Oh,
back.
it's gonna be good. Okay.
We're back. There we go.
Yay! All right, so last we left off our characters, Balder and Rusty pseudo snuck back up to the prep area. And according to them, it was perfectly fine. But the Vector seemed to be a little busy with an accident that Turi caused. And Tilda was very successful in handling what it was that she started. They do get everything put back together. And during this chaos, do any of you guys do anything else? You're now kind of united in one spot. There's a lot of the Vector people all in one area. Do you kind of just wait for the smoke to cool off? Yeah.
I want to keep an eye on what the Watcher up on the second floor, how they're reacting.
The Watcher, when the accident happened, the Watcher disappeared. And you're not sure, they potentially could be some of the people that are down assisting with what's going on, but because of the lighting, you are not able to make out you weren't able to make out physical details, except that they were humanoid. But the Watcher's no longer in the window once the accident happened. Anything else?
Then.
I go up to Turi and I'll be like, "Oh, what's going on?" All right. Are you muted, or I cannot hear you?
Promethea.
She told me to do it.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I was paying attention to who was getting the advantage. What happened? I was doing a thing. What just happened?
You were accused.
I just said, I was making a distraction. She told me to do it.
Oh.
And
Should I
who are
help?
you telling this to?
To
Me.
Balder.
Balder asked
Okay.
me what happened.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I literally missed 30 seconds completely.
All good. She died.
Um,
I didn't throw bottles on the floor.
I'm good. I think we're good now. I did the thing. They were distracted.
You don't want to lose your pay, Balder.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's good.
Then does the fun happen?
That was the fun.
Oh.
That's the current fun. I believe there's also future promised fun.
Yes, there will be future
I hope
fun.
So,
It's
So-
gonna
Good
cause
here.
fireworks later. Just
ooh, I like those.
We
I
all
want-
good here. We can return to the work. Yes, I asked you down.
I once caught a firework in my hand and it didn't burn me.
So I have a temptation. My temptation is power. Utilize magic to exert your dominance over another. And specifically, now that I know that Tilda is Promethea, and Promethea is a bit of a mystery and is causing trouble for us, just since we're down the grapevine. Now that the fun and games are more or less over, I kind of want to use some magic to kind of one up her.
Okay. What would you like to
Love
do?
that.
I'm here for
like-
this.
To cast the bones, to know about her. I want to know
Okay.
her background. I want to know her secrets. I want to use the secrets against her.
I believe cast the bones is once per mystery. So you've already cast your bones for this one, but you would be able to save that thought for our next game. So I do that like once per game. Would you like to do
Just straight up magic?
rote? Yeah, you could use another card if you would like.
I could do that. I could do that. Just sprinkle some ash on the cards and
Yeah. And then what is the intention that you would like with that?
I want to know about her. I want to know what she's hiding. And so I can just slip that little that thought into her ear. Get in her head a little.
That you know more than you do?
Oh, yes, that I know more about her. Maybe just that feeling of having power over them in that sense.
Okay.
So, I guess
All
then I
right,
will
so
use my rote.
yep, use your rote and roll weird.
All right. Now that my box is in the way. All right. Now that there's just a break, a lull in work, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 10.
All right. And then what was the card that you drew?
Well, let's find out. Shuffle it once more, just for good measure.
During this time, as you're prepping, like you're working on your magic, for everybody else, things begin to kind of go back to normal. Like Vector has gotten things cleaned up. You are still, however, milling about as they haven't sent you back to your jobs. They're just finishing the last
All right.
bit of cleanup.
Seven of cups upside down.
Okay.
Thanks so much, DB's Muppet, for the $20 donation. Would you like to do a oh, there it is, an asset for the players.
Thank you.
Woo, awesome, thank you. So collectively, we get to decide what this asset should be that makes our lives a little bit easier for this session.
Okay. You do really, really well, and very similarly to what happened with your last card. The card sort of warms up in your hand and springs to life. And this one, the Seven of Cups, you kind of see like the illustration that comes up has these 7 pools of kind of like a scrying glass or a pool of something, and you see fragments of a past, but they're very abstract. You see a clump of crystals. You see the struts of a bridge. You see a handful of feathers. You see what would be another one? You see cypress trees. You see a white patio. You see books. And so you kind of get these snapshots. Like your magic isn't entirely specific, but you've got these elements that come together, and you can kind of piece together an idea. And how you use that information is up to you.
Okay. Well, cypress
Question.
trees in particular is very interesting because we are far, far away from anywhere with cypress trees.
Can Tilda sense that she's being scryed, essentially?
I will need you to roll an opposing roll, I guess.
Okay.
I don't
Sharp?
think. Yeah, well, yes, roll sharp, but roll with disadvantage because you wouldn't necessarily be able to feel or smell the magic. That's kind of
Okay.
Not always specifically the town thing, but
The same roll
Let's-
twice.
2 6s.
dang. All right, you are unaware of this.
Okay. Fortunate for Novak.
What do you hold on to that information, or do you act upon it immediately?
Your mic is fading out a little bit there. Yes.
Okay.
It just was a little away from your mouth. I think, yeah, if there's a lull in work, then he'll wait a little bit as they're still cleaning up, then kind of makes a point of walking past her and says, "Cypress trees, huh? You're a little far away from home, aren't you?" Promethea.
And you're a little creepy. What of it?
Oh, nothing.
I think Promethea will gently place a hand on Novak's shoulder, just sort of lean in and go, if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. Best let sleeping bears lie. And just walk away.
All right. So
Fuck around and get a fuck.
for Turi, who is action oriented, unfortunately the rest of the night, like the next hour or so, is kind of boring. You all are sent back to your work. The night wears on, and one of the workers comes down from the second level, dressed like all of the others, leather jacket and big steel-toed boots, and he raises his voice, and he calls out to everybody in the warehouse, including Rusty and Balder, who were put back to work, but with a little bit more direction. And this guy calls out. He says, "I've got an extra job. We're low on drivers and driver protection. We could use an extra hand in delivering goods to a location. It's supposed to go smoothly."
Me, please. Me.
Actually,
Me, please.
Dovak is very interested in where these suppliers are going. So
Okay.
yes.
I have a suggestion for our asset, since we're going to be driving, and it's ominously said that it's supposed to go smoothly. What if our asset is like a really nice SUV that's like sort of like a Batmobile kind of thing? So it's got some like anti-chase features, like caltrops or something that you can dump out of the back, and a nice big spot for an extra large stonekin.
What if
Oddly
it's just a semi?
Or that, yeah.
We
That
do
works
have to have
too.
something that will fit Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, semi.
and a jacuzzi, yeah. Why not?
Jacuzzi!
All right.
That was like the
Um,
weirdest semi.
Are you guys all okay with a vehicle of some kind?
Yes.
don't
guess,
see
yeah.
that.
All right. With that, then you have. It's more like a souped-up Chevy. With the. It's got a cab and then the back. So Rusty would be able to sit in the back with the supplies. But because this is the future and we're a little bit cyberpunk, the car is able to support the weight of Rusty if he chooses to sit in the back. The underside is all lit up with LEDs, and
Heck yeah.
it does have a hover element that allows you to get on the freeways, because the freeways are a little special here. And you do not know what specialty things that it might have in the car, but you do have them.
Okay.
So when you eventually get in the car, there's a panel of 6 very large buttons that do things that you don't know what they do. Does that work?
Uri would
I
like
love
to
that.
yell shotgun and crawl into the driver's seat.
Where?
Oh, it's a term that means she's calling past the front passenger.
Well, I want to
on.
drive.
That's empty.
That's not shotgun then.
Well, shotgun driver.
I'm confused.
Tilda just chimes is like, I'll take actual shotgun.
Where should I sit?
So the
We're
guns
dead.
have no drivers, they have shooters.
Shoot.
Amazing. Or we could gun her. That's
I'm
true
a
for
really
cars.
driver. I've never passed a driving test, but I'm a really good driver.
You know what?
Never
Like,
tried to drive. Maybe I'm really good at it too.
You'd need more than one paper clip to be good at driving.
Oh,
I'm not
We
we
actually
can sit in the
doing
back.
okay.
mechanically, but Tilda's like flipping through her grimoire, like, car protection spells. Where is that?
I think they call that insurance.
So
Tilda
you
being,
guys
like nervous, she'll go. Don't
pile
worry,
into
I've
the
got
car.
this time.
Sorry, go on.
Got some
No,
lag
Tori
there.
would go. Don't worry.
Oh no.
Oh,
Pretty
it's less
cat.
Shut
robot
up.
and it's more muting her now.
Heck.
I just love that.
catching
Don't
everything up to the part where you're
worry.
actually saying something.
Mhm.
Give me a second. What happens?
I think
Can
we're
you
good
hear
now.
me now? Can
Yes.
you
Yes.
Yes.
Troll says it's under wagon, dead horses.
So,
Sorry.
And your count is
again.
dead again.
Oh, we get the "can you hear me now" parts perfectly. Just can't hear the actual thing. Thanks for that, host Fabled.
the game
Yeah,
doesn't like
You're
me.
just straight up muted now.
Muted.
I heard that.
That's what it's like.
It came
Start
later.
talking and then there's nothing.
How about now?
Yes.
Yes.
So far, so
Okay.
good. But the moment you'll speak in character,
He says, "Don't worry
Exactly.
about it. I've done this."
think it's 1 billion times.
I think something along the lines of like, "Don't worry about it. I've done it hundreds of times. It'll be fine."
I know,
Oh,
it was more. It was
yes.
millions.
Don't worry about it. It's done this. Oh my word.
Okay. Turi's driving. I'm assuming that you all are going on this run. Is that correct?
Does seem to be the case.
All right. I just wanted to be sure. I'm waiting. Are you typing it all out? Okay. Okay. I survive every crash I get into, Turi says.
Okay.
That's my IRL luck.
So you
Me too.
I would really be disappointed if Rusty didn't survive the crashes.
Same.
So you all pile into this car. Rusty, you are squared up with protecting this cargo that has been given to you.
What is the cargo?
It's boxes. Do you look in the boxes?
No.
Not until
Hell
we're
yeah.
moving.
Not until we're moving.
You are
course
given
I
an
do.
address that is plugged into your GPS, and you are told that you are to go to the address, drop it off, get a signature, and come back. There is a lot of product. Yes, Rusty.
I need to find something. Anything. I know that's very unspecific. Anything that weighs at least 40 pounds and is not valuable.
I I mean, there's some spare tires sitting in the lot.
Okay, if nobody tells me to not to, I take some.
Okay. Yes, Balder.
I will also take one.
All right. So
I
you
don't
guys,
know why, but I will do that.
you guys,
Like you see
take your
Rusty do it,
tires
and
with
you're
you.
just like, oh, I guess that's what we're supposed to do.
So I see you've made a friend.
Well, this is just a tire.
Why do you need it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Him.
Tilda's in the passenger seat. She's got her hand cannon, which I imagine is like a giant Magnum revolver type gun, and has like the cylinder out, and is just like making sure that's all loaded and it's all ready to go, like expecting trouble.
I imagine Dovak in the back, like seeing what the product is, if it's just like more bottles of Veil, or if there's artifacts, or what are we dealing with here?
Do you look in the lot or do you wait to pull out?
Let's wait.
Yeah, let's all be smart. If I go in the back, is there any surveillance
There
equipment in the truck?
the only thing that really could be construed as surveillance is the dashboard and the GPS.
Okay, so they're
So
not
a
going to be
little
like
black
directly
box or
watching
something.
the back.
Yeah. But that's the only thing that could be like that you notice offhand. I mean, you can roll if you want to do a more thorough investigation.
Sure,
And that's going to be sharp.
it will. I
Hey.
like playing smart characters.
Ways. So you do like this investigation. You find a couple of things, and one is definitely a tracking chip that has been bonded to the underside of the driver's side door. And it's like you knew to look for it, and there, lo and behold, was this tracking chip. You also find what looks like a small leather bag with like something crunchy on the inside and ivory looking beads hanging off of it.
Where is this again? Sorry.
This bag that is hanging is it's actually tucked underneath the driver's side seat.
Okay. I'm gonna point this out to Tilda. I think. Be like, hey, check a look at this under the driver's seat.
Ooh, what's there?
You just keep your eyes on the road, Tori.
Okay.
What's under the seat?
The seat. Oh, so good.
Because it's just like this leather bag with something you said crunchy inside, and there's like ivory balls hanging off the like ties, I'm guessing is what you said?
Gotta love them ivory balls.
Yep.
Tilda rolls her eyes at Dovak. And
Dovak, I think, is in the back, so.
So a question:
yeah.
What is in the back? In the back of the inside, or in the back with me?
I think in the cab. Is that correct?
Okay,
or is Dovak sitting with Rusty?
I mean, he wants to see what's in the boxes, so I assume.
Okay, so he would be with Rusty. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
he wouldn't.
me.
You
I'm
wouldn't
in the
hear
back
that.
too.
That was.
I'm there as well.
Okay.
So
Please.
Tori, V, and Tilda are in the cab, and everybody else is in the trailer. Essentially, it sounds
I was
like.
assuming we
Pretty
hadn't
much.
left yet.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't started
Besides,
driving.
how big is this cab, anyways? Like it fit. Four
It's got
people?
a front and back. So
So I'm
you
just
got
like
you've got 2 to 3 seats up front and 3 seats in the back.
I'm probably just leaning in.
As much as I'd like to chat with Tilda, yeah, I'm more interested in the stock.
Okay.
So yeah, Tilda's gonna look in the bag.
Yes, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted.
Can I have you roll sharp for me?
What's in the
Absolutely.
bag?
7.
So you know for sure that there is a stick, some crunchy dried up herbs, and what kind of looks like 3 teeth.
Okay.
Is this like some
Um,
kind of charm or
Yeah,
spell?
Yes. Tilda would recognize it as a charm, but you don't know what for.
Yeah, Tilda's gonna very carefully just put that all back exactly like it was and put it back where it was and just look at V and say, yeah, that's some sort of charm or ward. It's probably
I won't
not
need
bad.
it. I
The-
won't need it. It's fine.
The rest of us might need. It's probably something to protect the truck, would be my
Oh.
guess.
Okie dokie, I'll be in the back then. Oh, and if we're going to do anything crazy, you might want to let me know first.
I
I don't know if you have a
your
plan right now.
receipt. You've got your receipt, V.
I know. I'm not worried about me because I've got your luck protecting me. I'm worried about other people.
Ah, I see.
can
I mean-
handle myself. It'll be fine.
Just if we plan to go off course. Anyway, bye.
And V joins the troop in the back of the truck. The back
Tilda
back
just
of
sort
the
of
truck.
like waves awkwardly, like bye.
All right.
Are we,
Go
are
on.
we ready to go?
I thought
Everyone?
we were already driving.
No, I don't think yet.
Nobody
No, we haven't
specified
gone
you had
yet.
left the lot yet.
Road trip, road trip.
All right. So just as you guys are ready to like peel out, one of the managers at the dock is like, and no funny business, because remember, you don't get paid if you don't show back up here with that signature. And he like pats the side of the car and sends you off into the city. The GPS takes you further into the city and up onto one of the freeways. And the freeways are kind of built around these stacked skyscrapers and buildings, like a anthill, essentially, of building and freeway networks. And the GPS would probably really be the only way that you would know how to properly navigate it. And I need everybody to roll sharp for me. And cool.
Both.
Be
Both.
careful not to fall
Oh,
out.
dear.
Sharp and
Oh.
cool.
That's a fail on sharp. And a fail on cool. Awesome.
That's
All
a fail
right.
on sharp and a success on cool.
Okay.
I'm failing on both.
Yeehaw!
I'm succeeding on both.
Yay!
All right.
Whoa. I got mixed successes on both.
Okay.
Nice.
Success.
I have rolled
Perfect.
5 fails this session.
Nice.
all of-
Level
You're just
up.
looking to level up so fast.
Not all of them have counted because one was countered with luck and one was because of disadvantage, but still. I
Okay.
rolled 5 failures this session. Jeez.
That is a lot. I would like to note that V and Balder, in the event that you wish to do so, you have 1 advantage to re-roll.
Well, I succeeded though.
I know, but I'm just saying that if it comes up later, I'm letting you know. So
Rusty
for
also has
those,
advantage.
Oh,
and
that's right.
advantage.
cool. For those that failed or that succeeded at the sharp, you notice that there is most certainly a vehicle that is probably following you. do you alert the rest of the people in the car?
Like, I'm assuming there's a way to poke your head into the cab from. Actually, would there be?
There is a back window, but the back window is closed. You would have to knock and get somebody to open it for you.
I shall knock.
Yeah, Dova. Oh, you're short, aren't you? How high up is it?
V's average height.
No, I mean
Balder.
Novak. Not Novak.
Oh,
Balder.
I can like move a crate and climb on the crate.
So
Might
cute.
just be easier for like as you're doing that, Dovek just opens it. Like
Aw.
he's just
Can we open it from our side?
The crate or the window?
The window.
The window would have to be open from the inside because of locks.
oh, okay.
So you would
That's why
have
I'm
to knock and
knocking.
alert somebody, probably Tilda, to open the door window.
Oh, okay. I forgot that
Dude, knock, knock.
V is back with us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I moved to the back.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
Tilda, you hear like this light tapping on the window behind you.
I think because Tilda failed both the rolls is like she's super absorbed into something in her grimoire, and so like jumps in the seat and turns around and opens the window. I was like, what?
Okay.
What's going on?
Not to alarm you, just to inform you, we're probably being followed.
I'm like
By
jumping behind
Vectra
you,
or somebody else?
so you can see me popping up and down.
That is a
Hi,
good
Balder.
question.
Does it seem like a car from Vectra or
It's unmarked, unlicensed.
unmarked? Don't know.
All right. Well, she like draws her head cannon again. Well, I'll be ready by the window, and if it gets really bad, we'll just have to find out what some of those buttons do.
Fantastic. All right, bye.
How about I fuck around and find out?
Ooh, what kind of fuck
What shall I
around?
do?
I want to figure out.
mean,
who
I can
these
lose
fuckers
them.
are.
Yeah, Terry, do you want to try and lose them?
I can
Yeah.
lose them too.
Should we lose them? What if they're just the people checking
You're
to
back
see if
there.
we're doing a good job?
I can't hear you. You're right at the back.
We
I'm
checked in the
gonna try
crates
and
yet?
lose them.
You have not. Would you like to check in the crates while you decide whether or not to lose them?
I
mean,
am
yeah.
losing them.
Yes.
So in the crates, there is a multitude of things. And as you kind of like peek through each one, you kind of get the gist that this is a larger order than usual. And you have several components and ingredients and alchemical parts, pieces, and substances. This seems a little bit more advanced than just the drugs that you were packaging earlier. And
What are
some of
these?
it is very, very expensive.
What's that? Groceries?
Hmm. Let's
So-
do something bigger.
I should have some intention here. Let me do luck of the cards. I actually have 2 questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me roll plus weird. Ooh! Yeah, no, that isn't a fail. It's a mixed success. Okay.
Cool.
I was like, that's right. I have 2 weird. Okay, we're good. So that's a 7.
Okay.
So my first question is, tell me about the people who are following us. And that's the 2 of wands. That's upright. The second question is, what of these materials are safe for me to grab and take for myself? And that is the moon right side up.
Okay. For your first question, Sorry, I'm catching up.
It's a mixed success as well, so it's gonna be.
All right, so and the moon was right side up, you said, and the two of
Yes.
wands was also right side up.
Yes.
Okay, so you cast these, and the first one, the two of wands, it springs up and creates what kind of looks like a bridge, and that's it, and settles back into the card. And for the moon, you get the idea of the imagery for the moon that comes up is it stacks all of the pieces, like all of the objects that were in your card, and topples them all over, almost like dominoes. And then V, did you decide to do anything with what was in the boxes? Hannah?
Fuck.
We
Hello?
can hear you now, I think.
Yep.
Okay,
You came
there we go.
back.
It's like frozen for a second. I can tell.
You're
Oh,
good.
Yeah, I'm getting the internet connection is unstable thing.
Then you swore live on the air.
It's okay. I swear so often.
Yeah.
So I
So
was
we all
just
heard-
asking.
We all heard you say the fuck word.
Oh
Oh,
no.
We
So I was just asking, did you choose to do anything with the ingredients that you're seeing?
Would I have any like even vague idea what this could be for?
You don't know what it is for, but you recognize some of the ingredients as first city only ingredients.
Okay. Cool. I just like to like kind of take a note of everything I see. And that's all I'm really gonna do.
Okay. Rusty and Balder, do you do anything with the stuff in the boxes?
I'm just looking what Dovak does with it because I don't want to get in trouble. I want to get paid.
Okay.
I will like look over the edge of the box like that, and I don't think I'll see any use for any of the stuff.
All right.
So
And I'm asking loud, who's Dovak? What are we doing about the car that follows us?
Think there's gonna be some sort of showdown at a bridge. I have no
What?
idea what that means.
I think there are monsters driving the car then.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
You asked what the tires were for, Baldur. Well, I am moving slow, but things I'm throwing move very fast.
Really loving
Yes, Turi.
Amina with her hand up.
I'm gonna still try and lose them, but not
Alright.
like I'm not gonna do like a 180 turn, but I'm gonna start like, ooh, that maybe I go to this lane and
So your cool roll is what's going to be applied to your the next thing. You got a 3.
yep.
Okay. Are you keeping that failure?
I'm gonna use a luck.
All right.
Let's not kill us on the highway in the first episode. So I'm gonna use burn a luck.
It's in the name, your name.
So you use a luck point. I'm just double checking. Yeah. All right. That's gonna come back.
Ooh. Oh, I think I know what I just did. Haha.
So at first it's really dodgy. Like you're trying to get a handle for this car, and for a moment, like like you move lanes, but the car swerves so hard and you can feel the weight in the back of the car shift. I don't know if you've ever knocked a car off of center, but that moment where you're like, oh God.
Yup.
But everything comes back down, and the momentum of coming back, and because of the way the car is designed with a little bit of that hover capability, you are able to like quickly maneuver off of this part of the freeway and into an exit onto another portion of the freeway and hopscotch essentially the car from one level to an additional different level of freeway. And you are successfully able to lose the car that was following them.
Are we like crushed by boxes in the back?
Oh my God, it's rough for you guys back there. Sorry.
Plus the boxes were open at the moment.
Oh shit. Yes. Let's
with
see
her.
how bad it is. Does anybody make a like that one moment? Does anybody make a move to save the cargo?
Since I got like a good cool roll, would that be possible? Like to
Yeah, I
make
think
sure that it all gets back?
I also had a really
Uh,
good cool roll.
Yes.
I
you
think
would
I
be
would
able-
simply. I think
Sorry, go on.
Rusty would simply have one arm lying on the cargo.
All
That's
right.
actually a good question brought up in chat. Does the water slosh out of the jacuzzi and get everywhere?
I forgot about the jacuzzi.
I'm
Like,
assuming
there's
this
a
is
jacuzzi
like
in the back.
in the cab, not in the trailer.
It's like a limo.
Yeah, it's a fancy semi.
Mother of God. It's not a semi, it's like a truck.
Oh. Well then, yes,
Okay,
like
no,
a limo.
So,
Limo trucks exist for sure.
oh, they do
Yeah.
actually. They're like
Yeah, absolutely.
Hummers, but this has like a back end. Okay, give me a second.
Sorry.
The jacuzzi that is at the back of this truck cab does indeed slosh, but the lid was thankfully on, and all you hear is the tumultuous sound of water hitting things and a little bit of like the drip from this jacuzzi. Yes, you broke the storyteller. And so it's of no real concern. For V in the back. Sorry, I'm gonna get V and Vi mixed up all the time.
It's fine. I'm honestly cool with either.
Okay. V, you are with Rusty's help able to
and
like and Balder's help, like between the three of you, like there's like this anti-gravity moment where like you just like in front of your faces see this product lifting out of the box, and between the three of you, you just whoop everything back together, and as you crash and
So,
like, yes.
What I
ma'am.
imagine Dovak does instead of actually helping to keep everything in the boxes, he actually just slips under like Rusty's arm and goes to the backside of the truck, like leaning against, like, hey, good job. Just make sure he's out of harm's way if something explodes, because these are very dangerous components.
So wait, let me get this right. You crawled through the back window to get into the cab of the car, correct?
No, I was just gonna go to the other side of the semi's trailer.
Or the
It's a truck.
truck.
It's not a semi. It's just a limo truck.
Just slide to the back.
It's a transforming truck, so you know it's something.
It's Roman
magic.
disguise.
Darn it. Well,
It's Vectremus Prime.
I imagine that I'm holding the box and still sliding across the back while
Yes.
holding the box, and then they like basketball all the stuff back into the
Oh yeah,
box.
V like does like a kick because she's quite nimble. So V does like a kick off of the wall and like grabs some of the stuff and like tosses it for Balder to grab.
Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if there isn't room for me to slip away from the product, then yeah, maybe I do just slip through the window.
I mean, there is. You would be able to like cram yourself into a corner out of the way, or climb through this open window.
Sure, let's climb through the open window. Just
Okay.
slip right in.
You're just like pulling yourself in. So you get inside the cab. Turi, you have done an excellent job losing these people. And the GPS is currently rerouting. It takes a moment to boot up and your new course is set. And you guys are on your way. Is there anything you would like to do before arriving?
Well, Dovak's gonna talk a little. He kind of leans forward. He's actually very curious what Tilda will do with the information that he has for her. He has about the stuff in the back. It's like, so some really expensive First City shit that's in the back of the car. Definitely not your run-of-the-mill veil and drugs. Whoever is getting this paid a pretty penny and is probably not going to use it for anything good.
Well, that doesn't exactly set them apart from you, aside from having money.
And what would you know about me?
I hear things.
Oh, do you know? What I'm saying is, are you really just going to hand this over?
Well, you're in the back. What are you going to do about it?
Oh, I don't want to touch the stuff. You don't think that this isn't being tracked?
Probably. I'm just curious as to what you expect me to do about it and why you seem so interested.
So interested in what's in the back, or interested in you?
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying that this is not the run-of-the-mill Vectra stuff. There might be trouble. And you are the most interesting thing that has happened to the city since, well, me.
You really need to get out more.
You have no idea.
And at
At
this
any
point,
rate,
Turi,
I don't plan... Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, at this point, Turi's like, if one of you doesn't, if one of you's not gonna get the pay, I'll take it. I'll take your share.
Nah.
No, I have no intention of stirring things up.
Not any more than you did earlier.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not. Don't worry. It's safe. Secret safe with me.
I mean, it was pretty obvious because I threw the bottle, right?
That's not the part that I was referring to, but sure,
Oh.
you did wonderful.
I am going to put everything back the way it was, just so that I say that out loud, so that it is known that we put it back, so that nothing looks amiss.
Cool. All right.
That thing exploded?
We good.
The rest of the ride, you do not see the vehicle that was following you, and you are not trifled with until arrival. Is there anything else that you would like to add conversation-wise before arriving?
I can fix the box so that it's nailed shut again. I'm assuming that's how it was closed before we opened it, so I can nail it back shut.
All right. I'm not going to make you roll for that. Anything else?
It's kind of.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna make small talk with Rusty because I haven't really talked to him much yet. But that can be chill stuff. If Tilda has something important to say.
Not really. Tilda's just gonna tell Turi, good job losing the car. Like, just kind of telling everyone in general, like, well, except for Dovak, everyone in general, good job, well done, we're almost done. The sort of the encouraging, inspirational type stuff.
Thanks.
So Rusty, you are something of a feature of the city. What's got you out and about and moving? Oh, also, hi, I'm V.
Not a bug, but a feature.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Rusty is much too big to be a bug.
that's true. Well, I am going through a money recently at much faster rate than I've used to, so I need to earn some.
Oh, would you like me to pass on any jobs I hear then?
Sure.
Fantastic.
And it's because the one here, because I'm probably sitting with my face towards the back, with my sitting with my back against the wall between Cap and the back. So I point to the back. This one has caused some commotion, and I actually like it.
We do love a good commotion.
I used to not to, but this one is different.
Different how?
It's a good commotion.
What kind of commotion?
Changing things for the better. This place can't sink much further down, doesn't it?
I like it well enough, but I can see how some people wouldn't.
I mean, little rocks like this one here deserve a better life than this.
Aw, that's so noble. Yeah, Baldur's a good kid. Brock.
And, well, it's not fair. They are not let up there, right?
Yeah, I wonder what it's like up there. Like, it must be so bright.
I'm not much interested in that. There's too much rain.
Not a fan of water?
No.
Noted. Keep you away from it. Or it away from you, more importantly. I'm not sure I could actually keep you away from anything. You're kind of enormous. Anyway, if I hear anything good, I'll tell you about it. Because you seem like a good sword.
I'm good at carrying stuff and protecting stuff and people. Thinking jobs are not for me.
We've all got different strengths and weaknesses. Anina?
Because we're in the front. Oh, that you luck at the is luck your thing, like me?
Who are you talking to?
Promethea, Tilda.
Okay.
Oh, Tilda gives Tori sort of like
Kind of
a.
my thing as well.
I think I caught that. Some of it cut out, but I think I caught what you said. Yeah, Tilda just sort of gives like a small, sort of kind of tight-lipped smile. It says, luck is not exactly something I would say I have a lot of, but I do have an encyclopedic knowledge of magic and lore and the occult, and it tends to make up for the lack of luck. Mostly.
Oh, so when you were at the casino, it was magic, was it?
She sort of gets a little smirk and says, "Yeah, but I didn't say it."
I mean, It's not my money. It's fine. I'm surprised I didn't catch it at the time. You're
I know some very
Okay.
old spells that most people don't know anymore.
interesting.
Oh, do they teach that in the swamp now, do they?
The window
I have-
to the back is open at this point,
Like
right?
you.
Novak is in the front, like in the front cab
Dovak's
now.
in the cab with
Oh,
you
when
guys.
did you get in the cab?
When Turi decided to go off-roading neon freeways.
So Dovak didn't want to be exploded by supplies like hitting each other because
Oh,
this
I thought
is,
you
know.
said you went to the back, not into the cab. Okay.
Well, we discussed it. I still
There
thought
was
we
a
were
whole
in a semi.
conversation about
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Maps for this game now, just to keep track of in which part of the car everyone is sitting.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
get
is it
an
a
off-
car map.
Is it a semi right now, or is it a truck?
It's a
What's-
truck.
It's a transformer.
We always
Every vehicle at the same time.
Anyways.
It was always a
anyways.
truck, but we just believed
Hard enough.
differently.
I have a feeling.
So I was at the Dovak's comment.
I have a feeling he really does.
What was that?
You
Anita?
cut off.
Oh, I have a feeling he really doesn't like you.
Tilda leans over to Tori and goes, "It's mutual."
I didn't say I didn't like her. I'm actually fascinated.
So, you remember how you said that my secret was safe with you?
I didn't say this secret.
Well, just remember that secrets are also very safe with dead people. So maybe don't run your mouth so much.
Ah, it's just between friends.
I'm not your friend.
Damn shame. Oh, we could get along.
Well, that remains to be seen. It's possible. But, as I said, your mouth's running. You might want to look to that.
Sure.
Excellent. So this is about the time. This is usually when we start wrapping up, right, Raven?
Mhm.
I just want to make sure. This is about the time that you roll up to your destination. You've gotten off the freeway. You're probably on the north side of old LA. You're closer to the wastes than you are to the center. And this area is less rebuilt. There's a lot of destruction and pieces that have just been forgotten about. And it's very slummy. There's a large population of homeless people that have kind of like gathered up into different groups, which you're passing on your way to this location. And you pull up to one of the only intact buildings in this area. It kind of looks like a weird convenience store. Has all four walls and a second story. There's someone kind of standing underneath the light of this building, and like the way it is, like the light, you can't see their face because they're kind of like leaning back, smoking a cigarette, waiting for you. And they look up like when your headlights wash over them and kind of give you a wave and wait to make sure that you are the right people for the right job. What do you do?
I shall
Did you
pop out of the
order a
back.
bunch of crates?
I delivery.
This person kind of like looks at you and says, "Yes, I do happen to be waiting for some crates. You're with Vectra, correct?"
Yep. Just need you to sign, and we can hand those right over.
All right, I'm gonna have you put everything inside for me first, and then I'll sign, just to make sure this is a clean deal.
Can do. I'll start moving the boxes.
I unload myself from the back. keeping my hand on the bed so it doesn't jump up so much when I leave it.
Oh, that's
I'll
smart.
consider it.
Great.
Now, actually, I think Dovat gets out and he kind of saunters up as they're unloading things. And he's like, so, just for your information, there was someone who was following us a while back, but we lost them. You wouldn't happen to have any enemies that you're worried about, right?
The guy looks up, and you recognize this aesthetic from what you saw with Vectra in the docks, but he does not wear the same kind of uniform. Instead, he's in a long duster and kind of like a baggy t-shirt and slacks, and he has dreads that are pulled back into a ponytail, and the whites of his eyes are all black, and he has the most stony blue pupils that you've seen from these people, and he just smiles at you and he says, that sounds about right. I couldn't imagine this delivery being planned without some sort of hitch going on. And he kind of gives you like this smile, like a predatory smile, and looks at the rest of you. He says, but you done good. You done good.
Right, of course. And he returns that smile, eyes flashing, like the don't fuck with me, dude.
Yes.
Does he seem to
so-
be a particular race?
He's glamored. You know that he's very, very glamored. He looks far more human than the creatures, the Atau that you saw at the docks. But the glamour is so imperfect that you know that something's off. Like, it almost feels bigger. He feels bigger than what you're seeing.
Okay. Tilda's gonna walk over to him and just sort of hang out by this person while everybody's loading stuff into the warehouse.
Interesting. So both Dovak and Tilda are both kind of doing the same thing.
Just
Kinda.
jamming out.
Like, Tilda hasn't taken her gun out of its holster or anything like that, but the hammer is back and her hand is like next to it. So kind of giving the body language of like, I'm here to make sure that you don't try anything, but I'm not proactively trying to do anything to mess with you. But she will take note of the glamour as well. There's sort of like a
Cheery, you hopped out of the car, correct?
Stayed in the car in the driver's seat.
Okay, Turi,
I just wound the window down and went, delivery, so I can hear.
can I have you roll sharp for me? You may or may not recognize this person from the casinos.
Ooh.
So Balder and Rusty are the ones that are taking. Well, it's probably Mr. Balder because I don't think Rusty fits with that door.
I'll help.
your mic's doing the thing again. Sorry.
Ugh. My bad.
There you go.
So the three of you are shuffling this cargo into this convenience store. As when you get in, the convenience store is absolutely empty. It has been prepared to receive this cargo. Like every bit of furniture has been absolutely removed from it. You set this cargo down, and you
How high is it? The ceiling?
the ceiling's probably like standard, like it's on the short end of like walking into a gas station short.
I pile these boxes as high as they go.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand them to you while you're like presumably climbing up on top of them.
Yeah, I grab the box and jump on the next box, and then I'll put it on the next one.
Excellent.
Easy now with climbing those boxes. You wouldn't want one of these components to combust.
Turi,
Maybe don't mention that we know what's inside.
I can
Cheery-
climb a box. That's not
You-
hard at all.
Okay. For Cherry, you know this person. You know this person from the Black Feather Casino. You know that they've been blacklisted, and that's why you know that. You don't know exactly who it is. You just recognize them that they are not allowed the fuck in the casino.
Okay. So do I feel suspicious?
The only reason why somebody wouldn't
Peter?
be allowed in the casino is if they broke one of the laws or their debt was too deep
Okay.
and hadn't paid up. So whether or not you suspect them is up to you.
Okay.
All you know is they're a cheater, pumpkin eater.
Cheating in the Black Feather Casino specifically is really dangerous.
Understandable.
100% do not recommend.
So I'm suspicious. I'll be suspicious, but we are also working for a gang. So
Yeah, we are
Huh.
transporting illegal goods and drugs.
suspicious. Well,
It has that same energy of like psychic though. That seems kind of sci-fi. We live in a spaceship, dear.
yeah. That,
But the rest of the deal goes pretty square, and you get to the point where you hand over the piece of paper, and this guy starts writing, and like he gets halfway through putting his signature down, and then he kind of stops and looks at you, and he says, "You know, I didn't expect the Vector to pull it together tonight, and you don't seem like Vector people. You must have been a hire-on job. Is that correct?"
Yes.
You could say we're new, yeah.
My name's Balder.
Balder.
It's nice to meet you, Balder. But if you are looking for more work, I would have another job for you. And he finishes signing his name and hands it over to V.
What's the name?
Magweed.
Of course it is.
I had a
Of
feeling.
course it is. Well, you had me at the dreadlocks. Like, oh, this is probably that magweed they keep talking about.
I couldn't help it. There's like the perfect in. Perfect
What kind of job?
in.
Is that more boxes?
I mean, there could be more boxes. It's a little bit of everything. I mean, a little bit of driving, a little bit of protection, a little bit of action. There's some things happening in the city, and I think you'd want to be on this side of it.
well,
It's delightfully vague.
since it's a last minute
Who do
job,
you-
but you will have to play a last minute rate.
Dovak
increase.
says, Dovak says, who do you work for, Magweed?
Magweed just smiles and he says, just a guy. And he says, we're not here for this whole gang nonsense. We're here to try and set a few things right. And hope that things get better in the shadow of Deus. And he like looks up and like borderline Christian kind of gestures, like praise Deus in the most ironic way possible. And he looks to Turi and he says, "Oh, I'd be happy to pay last minute fees, but I assume you'd want to get paid for this job first. Is that correct?"
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That requires us to go back.
Absolutely.
Tilda is quite intrigued by Magweed's language,
And
and is going to say, "When you say put things right, right for whom?"
Right for all of the people. We're all trying to survive in this world, are we not?
So,
Go
if
on.
you you don't mind, as he's talking, I think I'm going to do my luck of the cards again to see, like, because my cards have told me to be here, and I want to see if this is the reason why I'm here, if this is something that I want my gang to be involved in or not.
Okay.
Speaking of cards, while Dovak's doing that, Tilda was just gonna slip one of her cards into Magweed's hand, which looks a lot like the poster.
All right. You hand this out, and he takes it from you, and you notice his hand is a metal prosthetic that he takes the card with, and he looks it over, and he kind of like, he gives you like the all right kind of look and puts it in his pocket, says nothing else.
I'll give him a rock.
He puts that in his pocket too. He says, thanks,
I guess.
Balder. Appreciate that.
So I got ace of cups.
That is an
Upright.
awesome picture. Wow.
Isn't
That
it?
is really cool.
I love that.
So ace of cups, upright.
Okay. That's
And
perfect.
The ace of cups?
Yeah, the ace of cups is literally the most perfect card for this.
Hey, cards don't lie.
So the card, that text and that imagery peels up off of the card again, and the cup fills
Ooh.
before kind of like scintillating back into the card. And like so you kind of get the vibe that yes, this is
A cup full.
the potential for this is good.
All
Opportunities.
right. So in that case, I draw from my pocket, similarly to Tilda, although he casts an annoyed look at Tilda, like, quit stealing my fucking MO here. You fucking. I'm really annoyed at her for like stepping on my turf, you know. But regardless, pulls a playing card, and on the back of the playing card is the back alley fools,
Okay.
which I imagine is like a fool on fire, just like my grimoire.
Yeah,
So
your weird tattooed book.
my card book came
Yeah.
with the deck. So so he's like, sure, come to the back alley and we'll talk.
All right. He takes your cards and he appreciates the gesture, and he kind of looks at the rest of you like, how can I get in contact with you guys too? You all work together? You all talk together?
Well,
if I call
I've
one
never
of
met
these,
these
are y'all gonna
people
call?
in my life.
I know Tootie, and Tootie,
Yeah.
and then like Tootie knows me, and then I know Balder, and I can also inform Rusty. So probably the easiest persons to contact is Tori of us four.
I sort of rummage my coat. I rummage my coat for things, and then I find a little.
Are we all just
marble.
giving Magui
I don't even
gifts?
have business cards.
I find a little marble, and I just. You'll
Is it
find me.
green?
Yeah, that's my question. Is it green?
Oh no!
Well, it's one of those ones that look like an eye. You know,
Cat's
green.
eye.
That looks a bit like an eye.
So how Dovek's like, how about this? We plan a time in the back alley. That seems a good central location.
Tilda just rolls her eyes at everyone, pulls out her phone, opens up a group text and says, here, put your phone numbers into this.
Maggie takes it first and plugs it in, hands it to the next person.
Okie doke.
Hide.
And Tori goes, and I just said the casino, but you know, you You got a bit too spicy last time.
He just
Cell
flips
phones.
you off. He's like, those those black feather bitches don't know what they got going for them. And he just gets all grumpy and butthurt.
It's like cell phones. That's so overrated.
Seems very convenient. Is convenient and
there
overrated the same thing? Have I
anything
missed
else
a...
that you wanted to add to the end of this? And we'll start next session getting back to the Vectra to be paid.
Perfect. I think that's
I
everything for
want to
me.
ride in the
No.
front.
No, I just tell
Aw.
Tilda to inform me when there's call because I have no phone.
Yeah, I'm
Dang.
gonna assume I'm
Well, that's
on
the whole
Tell the
point
Stone King
Where
duty.
where Dovak's like, come to the back alley at this time, and we'll work it out.
All right. Cool. That's the end of, I think, session 1.
Success.
So exciting!
Yeah. We haven't turned
That
in
was
the quest
fantastic.
yet, but things are looking good.
With that, I'm gonna let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug before we go on a raid. And we'll go reverse order from how we started. So, Yaz, favorite part, where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I'm so bad at the favorite part thing. I really enjoyed the camaraderie and the potential lack of camaraderie you guys are building. Balder and Rusty's conversation earlier on was definitely a highlight for me. You can find me here next week, Wednesday night, playing Bambi Darling for Exodus. And I am not sure when I will be back on my own stream. I did want to give an additional shout out to my collaborator, Troll Am Prettiest Princess, for being my a collaborator and dramaturge, making sure all my pieces all fit together. So big hype there. And I'll pop my website link in the chat. So if you're interested in any of the other things that I am working on, you can check it out there. And that's it. That's for me.
All right. Next, Econorlax, same questions. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share, plug?
My favorite part is like relation between Dovak and Tilda, because I feel I can you're like competing at every single step, like cheerleaders fighting for captaincy of the team.
Yes.
That's more accurate than you know.
That's a very interesting perspective.
So I'm Econorlax, I play TTRPGs on Twitch, and you can find me next in 4 hours at Polish Scripted channel. If I could get a shout out, Raven, in the chat. There I'll be in 4 hours,
Polished is
which
great.
also translates to a 3-hour nap.
Yes.
Good luck with
Well,
that.
that's quite late for you, huh?
That's relative. Okay, that's all from me.
All right. That's really interesting. Because I feel like Tilda's not even trying to compete with Dovak. It's more just like, hey, I'm doing my thing, and this person keeps interrupting.
So you're like natural captain, and Dovak is like the pretender. Okay.
Hey, listen now.
I'm sure that's probably Tilda's take on it. Yeah.
You're the
We're
Lancer.
rivals.
Good
I don't
job.
think of you enough to consider you a rival.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, listen, fuck off with that.
I'm your nemesis. Who are you? Anyways,
I was
my
the
favorite
number one troublemaker before you came into my town.
That also is a favorite part of mine. The banter between Dovak and Tilda is really fun. But other favorite parts, the whole thing was really good. I really enjoyed Rusty and Balder talking to each other. That was just top tier wholesome. I really like Tori and V's characters. Like the way that you interact with the group is very different from everyone else. And I really like where you're going with your characters. It was really cool to watch. And then Vectremus Prime, you know, was just so much fun. Where you can find me next, I'll be GMing Animus Absentus tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That's our season premiere for that. This particular season, we left off last season with Rip, who is their sort of arch nemesis, kind of attached to the underside of their spaceship, which hasn't happened for about a season or so. So I'm excited to see what happens and how the crew deals with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're also coming up on episode 50. If it's not this next one being episode 50, I think it's coming up soon. So also cool stuff there. Other stuff to share and or plug is just sponsors, which I will throw into chat here. Fundamental RPG, which is a D20 system. It's built to be able to run anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. In fact, we are doing so on the channel this season. We've got high fantasy, we've got a horror game, we've got a surreal horror game, and we've got sci-fi all running on Fundamental on the channel this season. Yeah, it's really cool. You can pick up a physical copy on Amazon, or if you just want the digital version, you can go to coffee.com/raven/shop. Like it says at the bottom of the screen, just add /shop to the end of it. And you can find the PDF there, as well as free downloadable character sheets. It's its own separate thing. So if you do buy the physical book, still go over there. You can download. There's a form fillable version and a printable version that you can get for free. And then also at that coffee website, you can find Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. It's a tongue twister. It is a lot of different things, apparel, accessories, things like that, with a tabletop or adventure theme. I've been using the Intrepid coffee mug while we've been playing today. It's very cool stuff. You can check that out there. And then last but not least, Die Hard Dice. They're exceptional dice. I use them almost exclusively. And they sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set. So if you don't have a set of rainbow dice, or if you want an extra one, because who doesn't need multiple rainbow dice, you can pick that up at dieharddice.com and use the code BlackFeatherMay for 10% off your order. That is all one word, capital B, capital M. And aside from that, if you want to catch up on well, this is the first episode of this show, but if you want to catch up on other shows on the channel, or past shows that we've done, you can do so at the Fantasy Network, which is just watch.thefantasy.network. Go to Stream Library, then Black Feather Guild, and you'll find all of our past content there. And that is everything for me, so I'm going to pass it on over to Hannah. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
Favorite part is hard. I really liked both Balder's adorable innocence and excellent personalities. He's super fun to get to watch. But I also really I love Tori being like, this is boring, let's do something more exciting. It's fantastic. Just some very good personalities. I'm really excited for all the future interactions we're gonna get to have, because there's a neat mix of personalities in here. As for where you can find me next, I will be back here on Raven's channel next week on Tuesday for the second episode of Standing Stones, in which I play Sage, who is a fawn, and a little bit of the default mom of the group by accident, because some of these kids are going to get themselves killed. We are a bunch of tweens.
You should watch that shows for Hannah's makeup alone. So.
That's true.
I do try to do fawn makeup for it, so look forward to that.
It's very fun.
And and then obviously back here next Friday.
Awesome. Rowan, same questions. Favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I'm already interested. Like, I think my favorite part is I'm very interested in, once again, like the different dynamics that are coming out of this group. Yeah, Dovek's very much like he thinks he's got Tilda's MO and it's the same thing he's doing, and so he wants her off his turf. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. Because it looks like his MO, but it definitely isn't.
That's different.
It's definitely different, but he doesn't know that. So I'm interested in that, and just the different like little shenanigans, and the fact that we're able to get away with so much already. Like, as far as where you can find me, the next thing I'm going to be in is actually I'm going to be in an event totally separate from stuff from Black Feather Guild. I am going to be part of the Story Crossroads 6th Annual Hybrid Festival, where I am doing basically a 20-minute presentation. It's completely free, about my art, illustration, and how that you use that for storytelling. And so I'm going to put that in chat. I suggest you check it out. Listen to all the other artists if you're interested in art or telling stories through art, or just a whole bunch of really cool stuff there. So once again, completely free. I would love to see everyone there. Aside from that, you can find my stuff at rowannorthillustrations.org, and you will find me on Wednesdays for Exodus, where I play Pepper Ann. There's a few fries short of a Happy Meal, so fun. Yeah, that's me.
All right, Paladin. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk. My favorite part was, I think, the little pebble line. I think that was good. That was a really solid little moment. Good delivery. I like Rusty. Like, the whole thing is excellent work. But I expected nothing less from Ek and Norlax. So let's see, where can you find me next? Is tomorrow over on Chromatic Chimera, where I play a badass mercenary, and we've got the goods. We're on our way out. Now we just have to choose if we go with a corrupt government agent or a ship full of pirates as our way off the planet. That's a big choice. Then Sundays over on Uncanny Adventures, I play Holt, the pirate paladin who tries to make friends with all the evil pirates. Things are going really well. We've arrived at a new town, getting our ship refitted. We've got lots of new friends to make. We're going to make a meal for them. People are complaining about the heat, so I'm making them ice cream, and that can only go well. And Tuesday, I'm on Polished Cryptids channel, where I play Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble fighter, where we have just completed a tour through a very well-made dungeon, which Polished made for us at my request. So much love for Polished. And then I am back here with all of these fabulous people.
Awesome. All right. Last but not least, we've got Anina. Favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Again, really hard to choose a specific favorite moment. I mean, gotta love the fact that if my thing is meant to be luck, that I rolled 3 failures in the first episode. So go me with my supposed luck. It's story. It's character building. I love the dynamics that are happening in our group. I love that we've kind of have pairs of similar people, like Churi and similar, and then we have our 2 stone kids, and we have our 2 sort of darky types. So I like that. I like that we did that purely by chance. I agree with Paladin. That little pebble line was just lovely. So lovely. Oh. So yeah. You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Awkward Actor, I'll link, and I'll be back here next week for some more Churi fun, and just So you know, Turi means luck or chance in Finnish. Hence, that's what I named her.
Awesome. All right, I think that is everyone. So we're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go raid Milady Saito, who's just a fantastic person all around and a really good streamer. They're doing some tabletop over there as well. Looks like a horror one shot, I think. Very cool stuff. So definitely go say hi. Give her a follow if you're not doing so already. And then we've got our raid cry, which is how delightfully vague, because that was a great line. And then I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.